Hi everyone, it's Laura. Thanks for joining me today. It's time for a July garden tour already. Time is flying by. And this is going to be kind of like an as-is garden tour because I feel like there's always stuff to do that I don't want to put on camera. But whatever. We're looking good enough. So let's go. So let's just start at the start, shall we? This bed here, I have a few perennial herbs in, like this. This is called a purple sage, even though it doesn't look very purple. And behind that, I have a rosemary that came back for me this year. And next to that is a chive. And right up front here, I do have an oregano that I just cut back. And the rest of the bed is pretty much just full of seedlings. Some stuff that kind of self-seeded itself. It's kind of just like a little seedling nursery right now. There's a bunch of penstemon in there. There are some foxglove seedlings. There are some lavender that I started from seed this year. Let's swing over to this side. I'm really liking how this is looking right now. The color palette is on point. I've got a bunch of these red snapdragons are called Black Prince snapdragons. I started them from seed this year and they are absolutely gorgeous. I love them. Get a little bit closer up. Beautiful. And the blue are forget-me-nots. I also have a couple of these scabiosa. They're very falling over right now. I didn't realize they'd get so tall. My other ones are not this tall. I believe this one's called a Black Knight scabiosa. And I love it. I'm obsessed. I have two of these. There's one on the other side too. I'll show you in a second. And then this more purple one is the Serious Blue Salvia. Also started from seed this year. Here's this other scabiosa here, looking gorgeous. Hey girl, give me a good, there we go. And I do have a couple of other scabiosas as well, but they are just back here a little. Purple. And some weeds in the herb spiral, of course. Haven't done much with the herb spiral this year. Kind of neglected it a bit. I did leave some of my alliums up. Some of them are falling down, but some of them are lasting. All of this dark purple is basil. These are all giant purple basil. If you've been with the channel for a little while, you'll know I did plant this entire bed with corn, but they got stolen by the squirrels and the chipmunks. So I only have I think 6 or 7 in here. I don't even know if they'll make corn, but I'll just use the stalks for decoration. And then I do have a couple of tomato plants on this side and a couple of pumpkins. But mostly the ones that are doing the best for pumpkins are on the other side of the fence or the tunnel. Not that much to look at on this side of the pathway. A bunch of hydrangeas, some irises. Look like they're getting a little bit buried. I need to uncover those rhizomes. Let's have a look at the pumpkin tunnel. We're doing all right. We're starting to get to the top. In a month, this should be pretty out of control. I have a few different varieties in here, and I am dealing with some pest issues. I'm gonna make a separate video about that. I've got some squash vine borers that are creating major problems for me, but I'm trying to get it under control. I also have some watermelons going. Everything that's planted in here is like a smaller variety, so nothing bigger than like 8 or 10 pounds to go on this structure. In the raised bed, I have so many peppers. This one fell over, that's okay. They are kind of out of control this year, but I like it. And then I did plant more pumpkins, you guys, of course. I also have a bunch of volunteer cucamelons that self-seeded from last year. That's what these little vines are. And I have some volunteer tomatoes in here also. My little coat rack turned plant hanger thing is doing pretty good. It was struggling in the beginning of the season, but it's looking a lot better now. Everything's hanging on. There's a ruby hyacinth bean vine that is climbing it. And then you can see I have a purple petunia here. Some creeping Jenny here. Another petunia on the other side. And some petunias in this terracotta pot. I got this lavender, it's like a little lollipop lavender tree on clearance. It's okay, it's looking okay. And I got this foxtail fern also on clearance. I'm obsessed. I think I'm gonna try to keep this one inside during the winter. And this other planter here is like my favorite right now. The Supertunia Bordeaux with Dichondra Silver Falls. It just looks so pretty together. I'm obsessed. And over here, I know I have said like a billion times that I'm gonna pull these black bachelor's buttons out because they're looking not so great. But I mean, they keep blooming. So I just can't bring myself to do it. They might not look great, but I just love these flowers. I just love the color. I just think they're so cool. And then over here, just next to them, I have a bunch of verbena. I have a couple of jigsaw peppers on the bottom. This is just absolutely one of my favorite plants. I just think it's so pretty. You can see how the leaves are like a marbled white and green, and then the flowers are like a purpley. There's even purple on some of the leaves. It's so pretty. I love this plant. Got a little Pugster Blue butterfly bush here. It's just starting to put on some color. See? Also being eaten. We do have some Japanese beetles we're fighting also. There is there are several volunteer ageratums in the garden. This is one of them. I love it. So pretty. I don't really have anything going on with the trellis right now. There are some green beans coming up the back of it, but peas are done, so I'll probably plant more maybe in like a month for a fall crop. But this arch has another hyacinth bean vine, and you can see my tomatoes here. They're doing pretty good. Now these I thought I had lost early in the season. I started from seed, a bunch of them. I went away, and when I came back they were looking bad, and I threw them all in the compost, and you know what happened. A couple weeks later, there were a few of them sticking out of the compost that did not look so bad anymore. And I was like, you know what? Let me just try. And now they're fine. Everything's fine. They're doing great. This bed is a little bit of a mess. I think these hydrangeas are kind of out of control. But there's 3 here. They were not this enormous last year, obviously. So I might need to take one out or something. I don't know. And then I have this Annabelle that you guys helped me identify. Beautiful. And just a few other shrubs in here. I never talk about this situation back here because it's kind of a disaster, but most of what you see back there is jewelweed, and I'm going to be making a video soon about harvesting it and making like a salve. I've never done it before. It's going to be my first time. I've watched a bunch of other YouTube videos about it, and I think I can do it. We have a lot of poison ivy, and jewelweed is really good for that, so I'm going to try. We'll see how it goes. Over in front of the shed, more hydrangeas. There's also a bunch of autumn joy sedum in these beds. Even though it's shady, they're doing just fine. I do have a couple of hardy geraniums in the front and some creeping Jenny. And this is still just, I mean, it really just got fried because it was looking nice and pink just a couple of days ago. Now it's all brown. That's okay. Let's swing over here. I have huge plans for this area, you guys. It's just, I don't know how long it's going to take because I know it's going to cost money. In here, this is a lot of like early season stuff, so there's a lot of pansies, and this little shrub is a pieris, and this lungwort or pulmonaria is another early bloomer. I have a couple of those. But this heuchera is amazing. Look how pretty she is. I'm obsessed with this one. She's so pretty. She's getting eaten. That's okay. We share. We share with the bugs. These hydrangeas over here are pink. So we must have a little bit different soil composition. This is an azalea here. And a dappled willow. This This is a Spartan juniper, and I need to move it back, obviously. It's like too crowded in this spot here. All the moving of things will be getting done in the fall. Nothing's getting moved anytime soon. Let's swing over to the moon garden. And I mentioned this before, but this is supposed to be white. So that'll be getting moved in the fall. I have a plan. But these white hydrangeas are blooming finally. Looking beautiful. And the moon vine is out of control. I got one here and another one you can kind of see in the background there. On my moon gate, I have a cup and saucer vine. It's doing pretty well. I'm not sure when they start blooming, but it's not blooming yet. This is a crimson 9-bark, or actually this is not a crimson 9-bark, it's just a 9-bark. I'm not sure the type, but I love it. It's grown so much and I love it. I have a climbing hydrangea on this side of the arch, and right next to it is a sedum. And in the witch's garden, I have my cauldron planter that I am getting ready to redo in the fall. So stay subscribed if you are interested in seeing that, because I think it's going to be pretty cool. I have ideas. Right now it has a verbena, superbena whiteout in there, along with some creeping jenny and some celosia around the bottom. Look at my little frog. He's getting swallowed up. And there are a bunch of snapdragons in this bed as well. And then on this side, in the fairy garden, mostly petunias. There are a few snapdragons in here. Mostly these are sparkler petunias that I started from seed. That's what these are. And this one. I don't think I will grow those again. I've grown a lot of different types of petunias from seed. These are not my favorite. And then all this green is creeping phlox. It has filled in so nicely. I might even need to split some out this fall. There's a little blue spruce sedum in there. And this spilling over is a hardy geranium. And then my ruby slippers hydrangea is looking so gorgeous. I just think it's kind of funny that she's got blooms like all along the bottom half, but no blooms on the top. Not sure what that's all about, but she's looking good, looking beautiful. There's a bunch of self-seeded ageratums in here. And right now, mostly echinacea in bloom. Because I did just cut back a lot of stuff. I cut back a lot of alyssum. I do have some jigsaw peppers in here. Again, they are just so pretty that I just put them wherever I want them. And a little angelonia over here. And in my baskets, let me have a quick look here. Look at this. This one is the giant purple fuchsia. Lots of buds. These are the only blooms so far, but they are giant. And they are gorgeous. Look. Oh my god, they're so pretty. And then on this one, which she's getting a little sunburn. She doesn't like her life that much right now. I need to move it. But this one is a Delta Sarah. Very similar color blooms. They're just smaller. None of them are blooming right now. She's mad from the heat. I gotta move it. I have another cup and saucer vine on here. We'll see how that one does. I don't know if you saw that. There was a giant wasp and I got terrified, so I had to run. They're so... I don't like the way their legs are so dangly. They're really freaky. Do you guys watch Jade the Libra? She hates wasps. This thing, she'd be terrified of it. Anyway, I'm gonna try to sneak over this way because you moved. Here we go. I'm scared. Okay. These starry sky petunias, they aren't looking so hot right now. It's the weather, you guys, I think. A lot of things are stressed from the weather. It's so hot. We're not used to it being this hot and humid for this long. Alright, that's going to do it for this one. I'll do the front yard probably in like a week or so. But thank you guys for joining me again, as usual. If you're new, please consider subscribing. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye!